What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with what is going to be part of a two-part series of videos. I went out this morning and I picked up the Morphe Jaclyn Hill Vault collection. They have them for sale at Ulta stores as of this morning. You just had to buy them individually, so I ran my little ass out of the house as soon as I got up and I went to the store and I picked them up, and guess what? I was there 20 minutes after they opened and I got the last ones, so that shit's crazy. What I thought would be most useful for you guys is if I did one look using each individual palette, and that still makes the most sense to me. So that's a total of 4 looks, which is a lot for one video. So I ran a poll on Instagram and I asked you guys if I should do it all in one video or if I should split it in 2. And it was a pretty even split, but I went ahead and made the executive decision, even though it was pretty split down the middle, that I'm gonna split it into 2 videos, because usually when I do a 3 looks 1 palette video, 3 looks takes nearly 25 minutes, and I feel like 4 looks is going to be an over 30-minute video, and I think that's just too much to ask for people to watch in one sitting. And it's also going to allow me to get a few of the looks out for you guys faster, so that way you don't have to wait all the way until the weekend. So for today, for the first 2 looks, we're going to be using the Armed and Gorgeous palette, which is the more army green and gold toned one, and Ring the Alarm, which is really warm shades, kind of rusty shades, and some plum shades. Ring the Alarm is what I have on my eyes right now. So I'm gonna film the other 2 tomorrow, and I won't give you guys an assessment of my final thoughts, like a full review, until I've done a look with each of the palettes, because I feel like there could be some inconsistencies between the palettes, so I'll reserve my final judgments for the end of the second video. For today, I'm going to give you the first 2 looks, and at the end of this video, I will also just kind of touch on my thoughts on the quality of the palette, but we won't really judge them until we use all 4. Before we get started on the first look, please do not forget to give this video a like if you don't mind taking a second to do that, because it really helps me out and I would super appreciate it. It also lets me know that you guys are enjoying the content that I put out. And if you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe, because I would love to have you stick around, especially since we are doing a 2-part video today. I would hate for you to see the first 2 looks and then miss the second one. I think that's all we have to get out of the way before we actually start the video, so let's zoom in and start playing with the Armed and Gorgeous palette. Okay, so for the first look, first of all, my hair is wet. Yes, it is. It's very hot and I don't want to blow dry it. Also, my nails are jacked all the way up today, and we're going to be zoomed in really close, and what we're going to do is we're not going to judge Nicole about that today, because today is not about me. Today is about Jaclyn Renee Hill. Renee her middle name, or did I make that up? Leave a comment down below and feel free to correct me, because I think I may have just made that up. So the first look that I'm going to do will be with the Armed and Ready palette. This was the one that caught my eye first and foremost when I saw her announce it, so I decided to do that one first because I'm still excited. I'm going to start by going into the color Access. I'm going to just put that through my crease and begin to blend it out. I want that to sit in the crease but also above it, so that's the color that this whole look kind of fades out into. So far, this shade seems to be fairly pigmented for a matte. Nothing like insane over the top pigment, but you know, pigmented enough. It actually reminds me quite a bit of the Jaclyn Hill original Morphe palette, which I really like, so it's not a bad thing so far. I'm gonna dip into the color Secure on a MAC 221S brush, which is a smaller blending brush, and I'm gonna put that into the actual depth of the crease and blend that into the color Access that we put down first. Picking up the same brush we used with the yellow color to begin with, and I'm just blending along the edge a little bit more, just to blend those together, but also to add a little bit more of the yellow, but not too much, which is why I didn't put any more on the brush. I'm just using the excess that was left over. Next, I'm going to dip into this army green color Top Secret on a Sigma E30 pencil brush, and I'm going to pack that on the outer and inner corner of the eyes. That one is very, very richly pigmented. I'm getting a lot of fallout from it, but it's like also super duper intense. To blend that green in with the orange in the crease, I'm gonna go into the color Smooth Criminal here, which is like a mid-tone brown. And I'm gonna mix that with a bit of the more orange shade Secure, and I'm going to run that through the crease where I put that green. That way the green has something a little bit more brown to blend into, but it also doesn't completely get rid of that orangeness. Okay, I went ahead and started working on this eye off camera because I wanted to make sure I knew what the hell I was doing because I have not created this look before. Blending some of the shimmer back to where it belongs because my wrinkly, finkly eyelids tend to make things touch themselves and crease. So for the center of the lid, I want to put down a very bright base to put that gold on top of. I'm going to use the Kat Von D Super Brow in the color White Out. Obviously, this is just a creamy brow pomade to make your brows white, but I use it all the time as a base for eyeshadows, and I absolutely love it for that. You could do this with a very light concealer, though. I'm grabbing a MAC 242S brush, which is just a flat synthetic brush. I'm going to pick up some of that white Super Brow, and I'm going to mush it on the back of my hand. I noticed that these, when you kind of push them around on your skin and like let them emulsify and pick up the warmth of your skin, they get more flowy. It's easier to kind of do like a little mini cut crease with them. It makes it more like workable. And I'm just gonna use the shape of that brush to create the shape through my crease and pat the white down onto that empty space on my lid. I'm also picking up some of that white on a smaller flat brush. It's a Mayron body painting brush, but it is really good for use on the eyes too because it's nice and small and you can get some details. I'm just going to continue that line past out the center portion. Next, I'm going to pick up a Real Technique shading brush and a little bit of the color Coin, and I'm going to wet that with some MAC Fix Plus and pat that over where we put down that white. For the top portion where it's more detailed, I'm gonna go in with a smaller brush, and I've kind of fucked up the shape a little bit here, but that's okay because we're gonna blend the green back over where we don't want that gold to be, and it'll all blend together and it'll be fine. I did the same thing on this side, and then I fixed it. I'm gonna pick up that same pencil brush I used earlier, and a little more of the color Top Secret, and just start kind of blending and reshaping that gold spot in the center. This step is a little bit extra and you don't really need to do this, but I like to do this step when I do a crease like this because it is a faux crease on me because that's not my real crease. It looks a little bit more defined if I go back over the edge of the bright color with the darker shade from the crease on a very small brush. So I'm gonna dip into the color Smooth Criminal again on a Kat Von D brow brush, just a little bit, and tap off the excess. And then I'm gonna go right over the top of that gold section and just bring a line of that color back into where that color is blended out. It just makes everything more neat and more defined. I just like it better that way. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm a little bit in love with my eyelids right now. Oh yes, ooh, it's so shiny. So I wanted to conceal underneath my eyes, and then I realized before I move on, I want to add a little, just a little schmeckle. That's not the word. Just a little spritz. That's a better word. Of glitter. So I'm going to use the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Liner, and I'm just going to put just a touch of that through the very top of the crease area. I'm kind of gonna like hold my head like this. It's very attractive, but that way my eyes don't open all the way, and like I let the glitter dry, because a lot of times if you have like creasy eyelids or hooded lids or semi-hooded lids, what happens is when you open your eyes and that glitter silhouette, it transfers all over the damn place. To smooth the lower lash line, I'm going to pick up the same MAC 221S brush, but I cleaned it off on a color switch sponge, and I'm going to grab the color Access again, and I'm going to start placing that pretty low underneath my lower lash line and connect it into the blending we did on the top. Next, on a clean pencil brush, I'm going to go in with a little bit of the color Agent. I'm going to run that under the lower lashes as well. I'm going to go into the deeper brown shade Prowl on a Makeup Geek pencil brush. This is a very tiny, precise pencil brush, so I'm going to use that just to put some of that darker shade along the lower lash line. And I'm going to tap that out past the lower edge and connect that into the top. And for the waterline, I want to brighten it, but I also want to like do something a little bit more rich and metallic. I'm going to use the Anastasia Metallic Luster Liner Pencil in the color Liquid Gold. This is kind of an antique gold shade. I run that through my waterline. Alright, I'm going to go pop on some lashes to finish off my skin, and then we will add a lip to this. I went ahead and popped on the KOKO Lashes Queen Bee Lash. I know. You were like, oh, Nicole, we know what you're gonna use. You're gonna use KOKO Lashes Stella or House of Lashes Juliette. I surprised you. And this is my favorite green look I've ever done, by far, by a huge, tremendous margin. Because this is really glam, and I'm like feeling the glamness of it, I'm gonna go ahead and pair this with a red lip. I'm gonna begin by lining my lips with the color Rosary from Kat Von D. I'm gonna go ahead and fill that in with the Fenty Stunna lip paint because it's my favorite red. Why not? And this is look number 1. All right, the second look we are going to be doing with the Ring the Alarm palette. This palette has more of the warm tones in it. It's got some reds, it's got some burgundies, and some neutral browns as well. I'm gonna start with my BH number 5 brush again. I'm gonna go into the color Rush. I'm gonna start by putting it through the inner portion of the crease. Next, I'm gonna pick up a MAC 217 brush. And I'm gonna go into the color Alert, and I'm going to put that on the rest of the crease. So from where we stopped there, out, and I'm gonna create a little bit of a wing shape with that. But this time I'm going to use a MAC 268S brush. This brush is the brush that I like to create a winged shadow look with. I do this quite often, and you guys always ask what this brush is. 268S from MAC. It's available on MAC's website, but they don't always have it. It seems to be sold out a lot, so I usually use the Nordstrom link, so one of those 2 links will be in the description with everything else. I'm just going to use that to stamp out a wing shape along the bottom edge, just the way you would do a winged eyeliner, except we're using the eyeshadow to do it, meeting that top part. I'm going to pick up that same MAC 217 brush, and I'm just going to fill in the inner portion of that wing. Stopping that right at the outer corner, like where the ball shape of my eye starts. Next, I'm going to go into the color Framed. This time on a Sigma E36 brush. I'm going to put that through the outer portion of the crease and also start to darken up the outer corner of this wing with that. For the inner portion, the mobile portion, like the main portion, how many times do I have to explain it different ways? The main portion of the lid, I'm going to go into the shade Bomb Ass on a pencil brush. This is a MAC 219 pencil. Okay, I'm gonna make this a little bit brighter on the inner corner by dipping into the shade Lolly on a pencil brush, and I'm gonna dampen that with Fix Plus. Wow, what a surprise. I'm gonna go back in with the same Sigma E36 brush. This time I'm using it in the color Secret, which is a nice dark rich brown, and I'm going to use that to just deepen and blend and, you know, generally give more of like a richer gradient to the outer portion. Now that all the color's down, I'm going to go back into the shade Rush on a BH number 7 brush. I'm just going to put that, a little bit more of that back along the outer edge, just where I feel like we lost a little bit of vibrancy there. And then just softly blend that with a clean brush. I want to do the waterline really dark, therefore I'm grabbing my Anastasia DARKSIDE gel liner pencil. I'm just going to run that through my waterline and my timeline. I went ahead and cleaned any color off my back. Just cleaned the color right off my back. I cleaned any color off my MAC 219 pencil brush, and I'm going to dip into the shade Mugshot and run that along my lower lash line to start connecting that into the upper wing. And back into a little bit of the color Framed. I'm going to push that along the outer portion of my lower lash line and complete that wing shape with it. I want a nice hearty dark waterline for the lash to sit on, so I'm just going to run a very, 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 very thin band of black right along the top of my lashes using the Fenty Fly Liner. Alright, you guessed it. I'm back on my bullshit. House of Flash's Juliette. For some reason, I always like the way reddish, rusty kind of eye looks paired with Kat Von D's Lolita. So today I'm going to line my lips with a Lolita lip pencil. I'm going to top that with the Urban Decay Hi-Fi Shine Gloss in the color BESO, and I'm going to concentrate that mostly in the center. And this vampy little number right here is our second look. Okay, so those are the first two looks with the Jaclyn Hill Morphe Vault collection. Like I said, I'm not going to give a full review right now, but just to touch on my thoughts, so far they seem really on par with the last Jaclyn Hill palette that came out with Morphe, which I liked, and it also reminds me formula-wise of the Morphe 39A, which I also like. Pigmented enough, it works well, it blends just fine, I didn't have any issues. There was a little bit of fallout here and there, but nothing crazy. Those are just my initial thoughts. I guess we'll see after I use the other two palettes if that holds up, but so far so good. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, because that really helps me out and I would super appreciate it. And if you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe before you leave, because I would love to have you stick around for future videos, especially in the case of like these two-parter videos, because you know, you already saw half of it, might as well watch the other half. The second half of this video should be up in a couple of days, so I'd like to make sure that you stay up to date on when my videos are coming out. Also see some behind the scenes stuff, PR unboxings, more interesting editorial looks, behind the scenes, me just being a goof. Go ahead and follow me on other social media, but specifically on Instagram, because I post on my Instagram stories every day. I post all of my lip art on Instagram, and generally we just have a really good time. I run a lot of polls over there, or question and answers and stuff like that. It's fun. I enjoy it. I'm at Miss Quinface on pretty much every social platform ever. I will list that here on the screen and also in the description down below. All of the products that I use today will also be listed in the description down below. They always are, but I always forget to tell you guys. Basically anything else you want to know about this video will be listed in the description, and if it's not, just ask me and I'll put it there. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you for the second half of this video in the next one.